What is up, everybody? And you're very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda 10-minute transfer roundup video. The reason it's a little bit later tonight than normal is I was hanging off to see if any of the embargoed news told me something I didn't know. It hasn't really. So with that in mind, just a couple of quick things before I get stuck into tonight's talk. Do remember that if you want to catch any of our live content, come across to the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel, the link of which you will find in the description of this video, or just search Anfield Agenda on Twitch and it should show up. Also, do drop a like on this video for me, please, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Right, look, 10 minutes, let's get stuck into it. Let's start really quickly with Calvin Ramsey. That deal looks like it's a done deal. It's moving closer. Should be some movement, as has been reported, by the end of the week. Fee around 4 million quid, which sounds ridiculously cheap for somebody with the stats that Ramsey has put up there with Aberdeen. It feels like a no-brainer. And I think this will go down in the future as another incredibly cheap transfer for Liverpool Football Club that has paid off. On that, Connor Bradley looks like he's about to go out on loan, so that may free up a little place there. Bit of an interesting take on Bradley, by the way. His future by the club seems to be thought of in midfield and not really in a fullback position, so not real surprises there. So Ramsey coming in, looks like Connor Bradley out on loan. Now the big story is of course around Darwin Nunez, and this to me is very simple. Yes, there is a huge disparity between what Liverpool can offer financially and what Manchester United can offer. And at this moment in time, it's been widely reported, as per Fabrizio Romano as well, that Darwin Nunez' preference is to move to the Premier League. So right now, there's only two teams realistically. That's Manchester United and Liverpool. Obviously, Manchester City have gone out there and sorted their forward issues. So it comes down to a shootout between the two. And there's two ways we can approach this. From a financial perspective, if Liverpool have to get into a bidding war, we're going to lose and it won't happen. And the club have already made it be known that we don't want to pay more than €100 million, which is in and around the high 70s, early 80s, depending on the exchange rate in pounds. But for me, the most interesting part of all of this, and I don't mean to offend anybody here, but it's a no-brainer for him as a player. Why would you choose Manchester United over Liverpool Football Club right now? With this point in his career, Liverpool is the safe bet. Liverpool is the one that will definitely get him on the world stage more quickly, get him playing Champions League football again straight away, as he has done with Benfica in the last season. And not just that. Manchester United are just changing coach. They've brought in Erik ten Hag. There's a lot of unknowns around the football club, whereas Liverpool is settled. Liverpool have their squad, their manager, their coaches. Champions League football, we know will be up the top end of the Premier League table challenging. I can't for the life of me think of a single reason Darwin Nunez would choose Manchester United over Liverpool Football Club other than a financial one. And that can mean one of two things. It can mean financial from the point of view of United will offer more for the player than we can pay or are willing to pay. That's absolutely possible. But also Manchester United are more capable of paying a higher wage than Liverpool are. So if it comes down to a financial shootout, we lose. But if it comes down to Darwin Nunez saying to Benfica, I want to go to the Premier League, my option is Liverpool Football Club. If there is any way that you and Liverpool can agree a fee, that's my priority, that'll be my preference, and that's where I'd want to go. And I genuinely believe that that is the case. It's very easy to see how he can fit in at Liverpool. He will play through the centre, as he would, of course, at Manchester United. He will be idolised immediately by Liverpool fans around the world. And we are gagging, and I mean gagging, for a striker right now. We've lost Divock Origi, which was our one option of a tall front man, a strong, powerful hold-up player who can run the channels. Sadio Mane, who had been playing for the centre and doing really well, looks like he's off to Bayern Munich. So I would suggest that our need is infinitely greater than Manchester United's as well. And if I'm Darwin Nunez and I'm looking at it, it's going to be harder work at Liverpool because you're going to be forced to work harder by Jurgen Klopp with the system that we play, with the way that we press. But I think the rewards and the outcome will be far greater for Darwin Nunez if he comes to Liverpool Football Club. And look, United fans are going to be watching this, and I'm sure that they're going to be thinking very little of me, and I'm sure that they're going to be calling me a gobshite and everything else. But I'm right, and you know that I'm right. I had to live through this for the longest time when United were the top dogs and Liverpool just had to make do or take chances or overpay. And we did overpay for players like Lazar Markovic back in the day. But right now, we're a hot ticket. So I think Darwin Nunez preferences Liverpool Football Club. It's up to the clubs to agree a fee. If they can agree a fee, I think he ends up at Liverpool Football Club, and I think it's the right move for the kid. If they don't, maybe he ends up at Manchester United. Could still have a very good career, of course, but certainly will have more scrutiny there because United are a bit of a mess at the minute. I think even the most ardent Manchester United fans will admit they're a bit of a mess at the minute. So for me, I hope that we get Nunez because he is a roll of the dice. There's no denying that for either club. Darwin Nunez is not the finished article, but he has plenty of raw potential that we, of course, as Liverpool fans, seen firsthand this season in the Champions League. And I get the feeling that this is one that Liverpool want. But I also know that FSG don't pay huge transfer fees unless we sell players for huge money. So if they stick to their guns of around 100 million, I find it difficult for Liverpool to see value in that. Because look, I suppose we have to look at the value side of it as well. If Liverpool paid €100 million for Darwin Nunez and he didn't work out, the odds of Liverpool ever recouping that money are pretty slim. Whereas if they bought him for €70 million, €75 million, little bit more wiggle room there. You know, perhaps 4 or 5 years down the line, he could move on. You could recoup a lot of money, maybe move to Spain, something like that. I just think everything points to Darwin Nunez being a better fit for Liverpool Football Club, particularly if he has aspirations to become a real superstar. And we have a habit of turning attackers into superstars. Look, United aren't too shabby at it either. And I remember Liverpool not being willing to pay what it took to get Cristiano Ronaldo. I remember Liverpool wanting to sign him, but being told by the board, or the manager being told by the board, that 10 million, I think it was at the time, was too much to pay for a 17 or 18-year-old. That didn't work out too well for us, did it? So this time I hope that we get it right. I hope that we make the calculated risk, and I do hope that we sign him. And then we move to midfield, and I've seen some links to Calvin Phillips, who pulled up today for England when he was playing. I don't think Calvin Phillips is a good fit for Liverpool. I said this yesterday. Jude Bellingham is the obvious fit for a midfield. With the fact that James Milner has signed a 1-year contract extension, and the news that it looks like the club are very hopeful about Naby signing a contract extension, that makes me curious as to what we do. Do we hang off till next summer and try and bring in Jude Bellingham, or do the club go out there, try bring in a midfielder, maybe somebody like Yves Bissouma? I'm sure there are plenty of other options out there, but I'm just trying to be realistic in my options. So that's where we are with regards to transfers. Outgoings, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is available to move on. The clubs that I've seen interested in him reportedly are West Ham, and who was the other one that I've seen reportedly? Aston Villa, surprisingly enough. Nico Williams, I still don't know what the future holds for Nico. He's been in cracking form for Wales, had a great end to the season with Fulham. I'd love to keep him as a club, but I could understand if Nico Williams wanted to move on. And then the other question that popped up yesterday was around Caoimhín Kelleher. He was asked on international duty, will he go out on loan? And he said that will be resolved after the international break when he goes back to the club. No problem with the guy looking to go out on loan if he wants to get minutes. I guess the problem comes is, who do we bring in as backup? Because Alisson has had a few injuries that meant Caoimhín Kelleher has played, and Adrian played at times. So I'd be mindful of who we bring in. Caoimhín Kelleher has proved to be a very, very good understudy. Maybe too good. And that's why he needs to go out and get minutes. So again, love to know your thoughts on any shouts for a backup goalkeeper. I think that pretty much brings us to an end tonight, my friend. So look, let me know your thoughts on everything that I've spoken about. Calvin Phillips, who I think will end up at Manchester City. Obviously Darwin Nunez, who, if it comes down to a footballing decision, got to pick Liverpool over Manchester United. I mean, it's just a common sense thing to do. And then, of course, Conor Bradley, who, as I said, is going out on loan, but the club do view his future in midfield. And then Calvin Phillips, who I think will see movement on that very soon, as has been widely reported, probably by the end of the week. So look, do drop a like on the video, do hit that subscribe button for me, and I will catch you guys real soon. Take care, lots of love, bye-bye.